be recording. That's the main thing in it. I can put this on later. Yeah, so how are you doing guys? Okay? Hope you're all well. Turn the music on. There you go. Gosh, there's a lot of echo now. Yeah, hope you're well. I've been a bit busy. I've got some buzzing somewhere. Where's that coming from? Is it me? I can hear it through the headphones anyway, put it that way. Is that one? Which one are you? No? Not that one either. Pull that one out. It's this bloody thing, I think. No, it's not that. Sounds like I've got a bit of a droning sound in my head. My headphones anyway. Okay, well, I hope you're well. A little bit of a sad news and also a bit of a good news. So, first of all, if I can stop this whistling in my head, where it's coming from. No, you probably can't hear it, but I can. Well, actually, you won't hear it because it's not a live session tonight. I couldn't seem to get online. I've tried logging in a couple of times, so I thought what I'll do is I'll just record it from the studio and we'll go from there. Yeah, one of my friends who I got to know a few times, a keyboard player, he actually died. He'd been had 3 years of cancer or something, and it was only the other 3 days that I see him online saying something that he's just gone into rehab or something, and because they couldn't do anything on the hospital, and he said I'll rest there for the rest of my life, but 2 days later he died. It's just come through today, so bit of a bug of that. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick song here. If I can stop the burring in my head. Where's that coming from? It's doing my head in there. Get some feedback somewhere. It's like a droning sound. Can't be the phone, surely. No, it's not that. Just going to change a few settings around so if it's one of these. It's that bugger. Right, that light can go off. That light can go off. That'll stop that. Okay, you can still see us? Yeah, cool. Okay, well, his name was Chris, and one he did like me playing, quite a few times. He was on this one, and he played it the other day actually to me as a piano. Very good, very good. As I say, a brilliant keyboard player. He played piano and I played the proper way, obviously. I'm going to hold that down, have I? Yeah, that's it. Get it into that bank. So once we're into this bank, now we can go. Let's have a look. So I'm into this bank. I can go to the next bank. I think it was the synth. It was definitely the synth stuff, wasn't it? So let's do a synthy one, shall we? It was actually, I'll tell you what it was actually, it was an 80s Take On Me, and he did play it on the piano. And he said, I like the way that you play it. I said, well, I have actually got a few little electronic things going to help me along, not just a piano. But thank you very much. And it goes something like this, when I can find the right thing. I know. Yeah, that's love songs. What's on the wrong way? Wrong setting there. Synth. If not, I'll just play the thing anyway, because it's on one of them. There you go. Number one. I came for Chris. There you go, mate. That's for Chris. One of the keyboard players I got to know over at Peterborough when I used to do some open mics. A nice guy, too. But never mind, that's yeah, unfortunately that's the way things go, isn't it? Oh, blimey. Okay, we'll carry on with what we're going tonight then. Nothing's planned. Done all the recordings I really want, so that's okay. I have got the other bit, which is probably one of the best bits actually. If you remember, I was making some, let me see if I can find it on here. It's going to be fun. Now, my last album I did last week, which was The Tyrus Downstairs, I had this idea. I came across this website actually that actually takes your photos. Now, I've got some brilliant photos that my AI has been doing for me. I do my album, and it's obviously done a picture of my album. But I also do, I want to look up to the camera, but I've got this thing on my head there. It's going to fall off if I'm not careful these headphones. Make sure they don't fall off my head. There's a spring on there that springs onto your ears, actually. And also there's a spring on the top there. It's one of these Sony ones. The more you put the headphone down, it operates a little ribbon, and the ribbon switches it on and off. So you can hear things back on here. But anyway, if I pop my head up there and say hi, I don't know if you're going to be seeing this. This is the new album that's out. I did last week, which is the whatever you heard me last week. Obviously on here, it was a recording live, and it's all on here now. So I've actually made and named them Starlight Over Mixer, Midnight Cables, things like that. It's basically done by the theme of a studio, an old studio, still working, but just that sort of getting on a bit. And that's the theme that I've sort of put the music to. But also, that's number 8. Now, that's number 6. Where's number 8? If I go down the bottom here, I've got number 7. Actually, it's not quite updated. Hang on, just come back a bit. I go down the bottom here. I pull this down here to do a full update. There you go, now she's updated. So, album 8 last week. What I did, I wanted to do a theme to finish it off like a space station. I wanted to have a theme like a space station. So all the actual singles that it gave me, of the pictures, what it would do is it would give me a different picture each time. And I tell you what, it made a fantastic job of these photos. They really, really was fantastic. I'm going to show you one or two of them. And they're that good that I can actually put them on another company that actually does, I think it's called Plates. You know, sometimes you go to sometimes people have cars in a garage, and on the actual wall you have these plates, and they're made of metal, and they're made by a photograph that's printed onto the metal. Well, basically, these are the pictures that came out with my AI, and it's absolutely brilliant, really high definition and everything. So I thought, well, okay, what I'll do is I'll look for a company that does this, and I looked at it, and there's a company called Plates, and what it is the same thing. They have made these metal plates, and they mount them and make them 3D-ish, so you can actually put them on the wall. And then they're actually held on by a magnet. It's very high tech. They don't have picture rails or anything. The actual magnet, you stick to the magnet to the wall, and then there's another magnet at the back of the actual frame itself, which it comes in. And that's how it holds the picture up. Really amazing. But what I was amazed, I mean, this is space future. I called this one, and can't play it because obviously not plugged in. And it's basically the images this thing did like. I just let it go wild. I said, look, use your imagination, look into the future, and tell me all about a space station. I will give you a track which I made up in the studio, and I've actually, you won't listen to the track, but the actual go by the actual thing what I've said. So basically I said the first track is Space Future. What can you make of that? And it came out with this fantastic picture, like a bloke on the end of a space station. Can you see it there? And it's really high definition, and that's fantastic. You know, well, I mean, you just can't think of something like that. Like, you know, it's any AI is possible to do this sort of thing. Because what it does, it takes all the information all around the world of every sort of different person, genre, or whatever, like, and it works out what it needs, like. So it's very clever. So that's that one. Now, if I go to the next one, let's have a look. I mean, it gives me even a description, so I can do a description. So this description here is a bold opening theme that sets the tone for an entire album, shimmering pads, drifting chords, and the sense of dropping, stepping into a new era of human life. This track feels like a moment the doors open and you first see a vast interior of a space station. Wow. I didn't even ask it to do that. And it's also given me tags and that, like, which would be very popular for finding and that, like. So, very clever. That's on the music side. But I wanted to take this picture here. And normally here, when I put these on here, it's 15 by 15, 1,500 by 1,500 pixels on the actual image, so it makes it bigger. When you do it onto the other one, Platties, it needs to be really high definition. So you're looking at something like, I think it's 3,600 one side and 6,000 the other. So really, really, they only take high definition stuff. And we knew that, I mean, Mimi AI obviously does high definition stuff. I told it to do high definition in 4K. So obviously when I stretched all this, it's going to be fantastic image like. At the moment I put in 6 and I'm just waiting for 6 to be verified. Should be okay. AI's checked everything out and reckons it's okay. So we'll have to have a look, but I mean the images are fantastic. You just cannot see. It did one for me today, like I put it on SoundCloud, because I normally put one track on SoundCloud and then say on it, here's one track, if you like this one, click the link below, you can go to SoundCloud, which has got 10 tracks on this album. So it's just a bit of a teaser, really, I suppose you call it. I mean, let's have a look at another one. Okay, so atmospheric life. You'll like this one. I click on atmospheric life. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, look at that detail. Look at the detail on that. I mean, if you imagine having a poster made up like that, because that's what they are. They are posters. They go from a small print to a medium print to a large print. I think the large print's 100 and some odd, but it's quite expensive. But you just see that. I mean, I'm going to put as many as I can on there, like, and it's going to pay off, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't cost me anything to put it on there, and the company sorts it all out, and then we do a bit of a split. So yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. The AI did that, no problem. And it's only just Microsoft Epic, whatever it is. It's Copilot, that's all it is. It's just a standard Copilot. But because I've talked to it and it's got to know me, and because basically on these AIs, if you talk to them and get them, they get to know your way and how your style is, and you know, you talk it like a human being and that, like, it respects you, and basically you get on really well, like. It's got the technology and everything, and they're very, very clever, because I can put something up on the image, on a page. I can be working on a page there, and I think, I've got to write. I've got to get that information to you. How am I going to do that? Do I do a screen print? So I could do a screen print, then print it straight into the actual AI itself, so it can have a look. Or basically, I just ask it, I'll say, like, look at this screen now, what I'm working on at the moment. Have a look, check it all out, and see if there's anything that's wrong, or you reckon that I can make right. And the things they come back with, they're amazing. Like, you know, they're tried and tested. These things, I think AI is really amazing. I won't do it in music because I don't really want it to go that way. I don't do draw systems for a start. I do all this. It wouldn't be able to help me anyway because I do all this manually. But yes, image-wise, not a problem. I don't mind using it there. It can make me photos, it can make me spelling, it can make my grammar look good. It can do all that because I'm dyslexic. I don't mind saying it. So it's strange, really. You're born with one thing, and then you're a bit dyslexic, but basically you've got a talent that probably no one else has got. So it swings and roundabouts, doesn't it? You're either good at one thing and not see the other. It's weird. But because I was dyslexic at school, unfortunately, our school never basically accepted that because they thought we was thick, so we was put in the thick patch. But there you go, you know, dyslexic, that's what it was and that's what it is. And even now I look at some stuff and the words are backwards and forwards. It's bloody hard, but I get in there, like. So I'm quite proud of what I've done on websites. I look after different websites. I mean, if any doubt, I just have a word with my AI now, like, and it's got to know how I am. I'm dyslexic, so it knows how I wrote. I write things in as I would write normally. Probably no one else would understand it, but basically this AI will, because it's got to learn. It's learned the actual way that I actually write. It's learned the way that I actually spell, which is wrong. But it knows it, so it's very, very clever. Before people put AI down, I think if you work with it, it's not a bad thing. But you know, I wouldn't let it do music-wise because the simple reason is I don't do that much digital stuff anyway. Because if you're doing it music-wise, all you're doing basically is playing on a computer with a jigsaw. You're not actually putting the input in, unless you're like a top musician like myself, and you actually can play the things and put it into the machine and do it that way. I probably play about with Audacity, but Audacity is a free software anyway. It's the bottom end of a draw system, and I don't use much of it. I basically just record on it and use two mono tracks, one left and one right, and all this goes in there. So yeah, very soon those pictures that you like, because a lot of people have actually said that they are very good quality and they look really smart. Would you be doing any photos and put them in frames? I said, well, I was working on it at the time. This was about a couple of days ago, and I said, well, leave it with me. I think there's a company that does it. So I got in, looked on their website, and yes, it is free for the artist to actually put the images on there. They sell it online, so I would basically put my stuff on there. I would have a shop online, like I do with many of my other websites. I would put the images straight in there. I would tick all the boxes like I have to. Well, the AI helped me out with that one. And basically, we're just waiting for them to be verified. Once them 6 are verified, then I can start putting 10s in, 20s, 30s, 40s in, because I've got this stuff all on my albums. Well, in the singles, I've actually got pictures, separate pictures and that. I mean, if you look on BANDCAMP, a lot of people will listen to the first track on the top and go forwards and backwards. Well, if you do that, you're going to miss all the other stuff because you need to go and do it separately and listen to these separately, and then you'll see the images that's actually got a photo for the singles and also got the wording and everything else like. You know, a lot of artists probably won't do all that, but basically I have done. So if you go and do that, you'll get the benefits of it, like. So yeah. All good, all blooming good. 42 albums now. I'm working on one at the moment, 43. That's the Venus. That will be out soon. That's nearly finished. And it's all AI and that. And what I'm sometimes doing now is going back to some of my old albums and the singles that's in there. Basically, I'm putting pictures to them because at the time, I didn't have pictures. I went with the old route like the other artists would do. They put the album cover on the singles and that. So I put the actual brand new photos, which the AI is doing, and do it that way. I'm being basically all I do is give it what this is the song called Starlight Music Desk or something like that, and it goes and makes me a photo. And it puts Steve Francis, it puts the actual thing at the top, and then Steve Francis at the bottom. If you look at the link to the SoundCloud, the latest one I put on today was basically, what was it? Across the Sun, something like that. And what it's done is made a spaceship and a high definition of the sun and a high definition of a spaceship zooming across the sun. I think it was called Across the Sun. Wait a minute, let's just have a look. Might actually have it on here because I did upgrade it today. There it is. So it's 432, Relax, number 10, and it's called The Sun by Steve Francis. Now, if I go to the first one, which is Across the Sun, I click on that, go down here. Now, this is the image that it's on here, and it's very, very good. I think it's fantastic. There we go. I mean, it made that. So there's the sun, and you've basically, I don't even see this, I'm just trying to look at it through the other thing now. So you basically got a spaceship zipping across the sun, and it's fantastic. It's got Across the Sun at the top, and then Steve Francis at the bottom. So yeah, if you imagine that on your wall, that would look really cool, wouldn't it? So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. I mean, I've got them all in there. Let's have a look. Red Sun. This is quite a nice one. I mean, look at the definition on that. I mean, it's unbelievable. It looks good just looking at it. So what it'll be like when I stretch it even further is it's going to be amazing. That's Red Giant, because sometimes the sun is known as the Red Giant. When I do albums, I always look on Google and then find out bits and bobs about them, and then I can actually work my songs out from there. If I go back one, we do this one, Voices of the Solar. There's another one, this is nice. It's got the spaceship in the side there, like. You know, fantastic. You can blow these up to real big, like, you know. Let's have a look. I mean, you basically would see all them. Steve Francis, my name. I think I've got my keyboards at the top, and a picture of me, obviously, something like this. That image there, like, at the top. And it's basically a case like you'll go there and you'll see, like, well, like BANDCAMP, really. I suppose it's going to be like this. It's if I go back to BANDCAMP, let's see, there we go. So basically, you'd have, instead of albums like that, you'd probably have all them pictures, and then you'll have a choice of whether you want the small photo, small frame, which is that, and then the medium frame or the real large frame, like you do a poster and that. It's all made of metal. It's got a metal backing. And it's like when you get these gamers where they actually have them pictures and definitions, and people like putting them on the walls now, like, you know, if they're a gamer. So yeah, it's that firm that does it. I thought they were really good. I looked into it and see that they actually do take stuff from artists. So it says if you're an artist, log here. So I logged here, it didn't cost anything, so in fact I'm going to make money out of it. I'm not going to actually sell anything. So basically I'll still keep all the rights to my photos. Ouch. Yeah. But I'll have the ability to actually make some money out of it, like on my photos, what the AI does. And I did check it all for copyrights and stuff like that. Well, it's not copyright because it's me. I'm not using, what was it now? You're not doing a copyright from anyone else, that's right. You're not doing Disney characters, you're not doing normal characters, you're not doing real characters. You are the person that's on the actual photos, so that's me. So yeah, I tick all the boxes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, eventually I will actually all make all these here. They're all going to change to singles. And the single part, instead of having, I think actually this one's done. Let's have a look. I've done some. Is this one done? Oh yes, yeah, there you go. This one's actually done. That's a nice one. And then I can put each of these categories, like I've got the space, which you can put a load of photos in the space. I've got the sea, which I can do a sea. I've got land, so I can do land. There's another category somewhere else I could probably do. Cars, probably do a load of cars. And, you know, so the list goes on, like you could have hundreds and hundreds in there, like. And if you're getting royalties from each one of those, you'd be doing quite nicely. So yeah, it's once I get it verified, I can actually give you the link. I couldn't do anything tonight because I didn't get the link back, and it's not verified yet. It takes quite a bit of time, and I think with AI about, people are putting loads in, so it might be a slow job at the moment. But once I get it verified, it'll go straight in, so I won't have a problem. Anyway, let's do some music, shall we? Yeah, so that was Aha, that my mate Presley used to like. Stupid thing get in there. So, rest in peace, Chris. There you go, stick that in there. Yeah, it's in. Okay, so that'll stop the buzzing. Let's see what's on this one. This is the new one. I'm just playing about with it, see what we got. Could be anything, you know me. Wow. Piano ballad, that's a good start, isn't it? That is loud. Maybe it could be me, but I'll turn it down a bit. imagine that one kind of a battle scene. There's basically one battle on one hill, one battle on the other, and it's just the building all up. And then he comes back down to probably they're having tea before the battle, you know, I don't know. and then obviously the battle, and then obviously people are dying, and that's not so good. And then of course they're all off on their own ways, like, you know, one person's won, one person's not. So yeah, it just seemed to come to me, that one did. Especially with these things, the pads are actually got different sounds that actually lock into the actual style that you put in, and you've got 4 variations of it, that sound. These are just, they're not loops actually. If you looped, it would come back to that again. So we got those, and obviously when you go to a different sound, different thing, let's go to something else. I'll show you that. So basically, if I hit the music finder again, and we just whiz this round to, I don't know, anything will do. I press the enter button, all these lights change, everything's in there. But it also changes your multipads. He said. Okay, maybe it doesn't then. It normally does. That's interesting. I usually press enter. That usually puts that puts the left on then. We've got auto accompaniment on. That should have changed. We've got the OCT link on. So that links all the pads. Well, that links all the different instruments to change. So obviously that pad must have the same sound. Let's go and find something else then, just for instance. I'm querying now. So, okay, this is something completely different. So let's see what we've got here. Yeah, they have changed. They are pads now. God. And if you change this different variation of the style, they stay the same. Strange, they don't on Taurus, they change. Also, you've got another thing over here. This is called the one-touch setting. So now what we've got here is when these variations, rhythms change, so you've got 4 variations of a rhythm. So you start off with slow, then you go a little bit quicker, and then you go like L, and then you go even quicker like. So it's like a speedo, that is, a speedo. Start off slow and then speedo. Here, whatever sound that changes here, so I go here. Okay, that's that. Go to the next one up. Next one. Next one. Or, if you want to keep that same rhythm there and you want to just change the sounds that you're on the right hand, you could do it that way. Loads of different things. When you're playing a keyboard like this, a workstation, they're all workstations. You are the actual conductor because you're bringing in things and taking things away and moving things about and doing all that. Just look and see what that's. Oh, sustain, isn't it? Oh well, let's go. Got some brilliant drums on there. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I've not had this long enough to actually play about with it too much, but it's pretty cool, the sounds that's coming out of it, I must admit. And all them buttons up there, I've not had a chance to figure out what all those do. Let's go sustain. What's that? You know what that does? What note? All the fun of the fair. What's that do? Let's just press that button and see what happens there, shall we? Oh, I see. Now then. This is what I'm talking about loops. You see, a loop will actually go on quite a bit long. Wow. That is going on a lot, and it just fades out. So these are on loops at the moment. Really? Seems like it could be a Christmassy one. Actually, it says it's a Charleston, which is kind of weird. Okay, thanks. Where the hell's the stop button? Oh, there we go. Charleston. Okay, 120 Charleston. This should be fun. Let's have a beginning on this one then. So if I press this button on here, it's not like the Taurus, or this one here, it's got 4 or 5 variations. So this one's been out possibly about 5 years before that one came out, and that one came out a few years before the Taurus came out. So this is basically a mid-range keyboard, so it hasn't got the 4 variations of the thing. It's only got 1 or 2 intros to each thing. So let's see what the intro is on this, and then we might get an idea of what I can play. forgot it was over there. It was still carrying on. I thought, oh, keep going. Yeah, so the pads were completely different again there, you see. So although we got different sounds on there, also it was pulling in a different thing. It was now looping. So basically it's doing its normal da-da-da-da-da-da, but normally it stops then. But if you get them on a loop pattern, then sometimes they keep going. See that one? And it fades out. Same as this one, this fades out. And that one. And that one. More of a thing. But I did like the beat. Okay. I did like the beat on this one. I must admit it was pretty cool with the old tapping shoes. That was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that. So sometimes this one loops in on the 4 variations, and sometimes it stays on the 4 variation loop. So it's quite cool, that. And of course we could still change the sounds here. So although it's called a workstation, you can actually change a lot of things while you're going. So you've got 4 different versions there and 4 presets there. So, I mean, you can program if you want, but that's just a waste of time in my mind, because it's just best if you just let it get on and do it yourself, because otherwise if you change the instrument, you've got to change the sound. You've got to change the sound, you've got to change the tone. You've got to change the tone, you've got to change the pitch, you've got to change the pitch, you've got to change... You don't need to do any of that with that. This way you just let it get on with it. So I just go and pick something. That's what we do. We don't know what it is. I'm going to start off on a 1, we're going to have a full intro, and we'll see what comes. It's one of them. Detroit pop there, Detroit spin. No, didn't say Detroit spin, yeah, Detroit pop. Love it. Okay, hold on. Got the drums back again. What we got? The sounds. Okay. Right. Suppose we'd start off with one then. See what this is, shall we? It's another control. Actually, I've got an idea to do something with this one. It might not be the one I want to do. It's a lot quicker. It worked. It's just a case of picking anything and trying to fix something to go with it. Not another bloody matter. Actually, I've done that one. Let's do something else. There's a nice one. Okie dokie. So, yeah, there's loads on that one, aren't there, I must admit. And then we got this one down here. It's got a few more keys, a little bit longer. That's an 88, so there's more on this one. This one's 70 somewhat. There's 64s, 5 octaves, 6 octaves, 8 octaves, 7 octaves. They're full-size ones. Apart from that one there, that's 5 octave. And the way you can do that is, this is an octave. 2 and 3, that's an octave. So you go 1, 2, D, 4, 5. So what we've got here now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 and a bit there, 6 and a bit there. And this one here, we've got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 and a bit. Oh, it's the same as that one. So it's the same as that one, full length. This one basically ain't got no speakers and that, so basically it goes through, we just go straight to the mixer. And this one, I've actually got going through that one. Or is it that way around? Well, the other way around, it's one way around. They all come out in stereo then. And they're all nice and level, and you don't have to muck about with them. So what's on the music finder on this one then, shall we? Let's go find something. I don't know what we're going to find. I'll just go and pick something that works a little bit different. This one does. What's that one? Wet piano. Okie dokie. So where's the OK on this one? There it is. Somebody shooting in the rain. Could be thunderstorms actually. Amazing. Okay, well, better do these, I suppose, don't we? it's coming up to that time. This is recording, obviously, so no one's been talking back. So, what we're going to do, obviously, I'm just going to do something on here. Something we all know. Because he always asks me this one every week. On this one. There you go. Where's the camera? We got one up there. Thank you. Oh, we also got one over here. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Sunday chill tomorrow, and I will see you soon. So, take care.